A super quick announcement, the Transform Your Grades in 30 Days course has just launched. Finally, after 9 months of making it, it's finally live. And if you don't know already, it's a course that I've created because I realized that so many students were watching my videos on YouTube, but not actually implementing what they learn. They're going away after watching this channel and continuing to procrastinate. And so this course is designed to bridge that gap between learning the best study techniques, the best daily success habits, the best productivity hacks, and implementing them into your life. With the help of a workbook, a productivity planner, quizzes, and personal support from me, and so much more, my goal with the course is to completely shift your mindset, to level up your studying, and transform your grades. Click on the link in the description to sign up, and now back to the video. So our phones can be incredibly destructive when it comes to getting distracted and getting things done, but at the same time they can be one of the most useful tools for productivity. It all depends on how you use it. My phone basically organizes my life. It notifies me of important dates, any appointments or meetings I have that day, and tasks that I have to get done. And I've set up my phone to be as optimized and encourage me to be as creative as possible. So in this video, I'm going to go through 5 of the most powerful productivity apps that I use that honestly, if I didn't have these apps on my phone, my productivity throughout the day would decrease significantly. Blinkist. Okay, so over the last 2 months or so, I've been really a bit obsessed about getting things done as efficiently as possible. So making my day so efficient that I can almost double my productivity, but by still working the same amount of hours. And so on this journey of essentially attempting to live as efficiently as possible, it got me thinking. When I read a book, it takes probably on average 8 hours to go through an entire non-fiction book. And in that 8 hours that I'm reading, I'm not physically doing anything. I'm not working, I'm not creating, I'm just sat there reading. So how can I make this process more efficient? And that's where Blinkist comes in. Blinkist is an app that basically summarizes the key points of a non-fiction book in around 15 minutes. And these 15-minute summaries, what they call blinks, you can read them like you would a normal book, or you can listen to them just like you would a normal audiobook. And the app covers pretty much every non-fiction book you can think of, covering from business, personal growth, psychology, education, pretty much every genre. I've put a link in the description if you're interested in checking it out. And it makes sense why this app is so successful, because when you read a non-fiction book, it's very likely, although it took you 8 hours to read, you'll probably only take away 2 or 3 main key points from it. But the Blinkist app cuts out all the fluff and just gets straight to the point, so you learn almost as much in 15 minutes as you would from reading the full book for 8 hours. So I've been using the Blinkist app pretty much every day for about 5 or 6 weeks now. A blink lasts for 15 minutes and I shower for about 15 minutes, so when I wake up in the morning, I get a shower and I turn on the audio version of a blink and put my phone on the loudspeaker on the bathroom shelf. And so now time showering, which used to be dead time, has now turned into 15 minutes of being productive and learning and growing. I've put a link in the description below if you want to check Blinkist out. If you read a lot of non-fiction books or you listen to a lot of audiobooks, then it's definitely something you might want to consider. Todoist. Now, this app is maybe the most important app on my entire phone, and it's just a simple task list. It's weird that something this basic is so integral to my overall productivity. However, recently I've started to change the way that I use this app. So if there was something that popped up during the day and it couldn't be done immediately, then I jot it down on the task list. That's how most people use their task list, right? But a couple of weeks ago, I started to also write down the one most important task that needed to get done that day. And I do this the night before, so as soon as I woke up in the morning, I knew exactly what I needed to do. And I would start with the one task where, if it was completed, it would take me the closest to my overall goal. It's kind of taking into account the 80-20 Pareto principle, where 80% of outcomes are as a result of 20% of actions. So it's likely that 20% of your tasks result in 80% of your results. So it makes sense to focus on and prioritize those most important 20% of your tasks. And I've tried a whole load of different task lists, but Todoist is the app that I found is the most customizable. It's really basic. It does exactly what I need it to do. You can customize it pretty much however you want, and I've set my phone up so when I swipe left from my home screen, the task list is right there. And what I like about this is that I've also put my most commonly used apps on the same page. So whenever I swipe right to use one of my most commonly used apps, which is at least 10 to 15 times a day, I'm constantly being reminded that I have tasks left on my task list to do. So it's almost impossible to forget that I still have tasks to do. Your calendar widget. Okay, so on my home screen, you swipe left and you get to the task list and most commonly used apps. And if you swipe right, you arrive at your calendar widget app. And this app pretty much organizes my entire life. So during the day, I often have a lot of things to remember, a lot of important dates or appointments or meetings, and it's almost impossible to remember everything going on in my life. And that's where your calendar widget comes in. Pretty much my entire life is on here. And I like this app because if you have an important meeting or appointment, you can set a reminder 1 hour before the time, so it's really difficult to forget anything you have going on during the day. I probably use this app, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 times a day at least. Like I said, I really don't know what I'd do without my phone scheduling everything for me. And just like the Todoist app, it's super customizable, and I like that I can change the background and the color of the text so that throughout my entire phone, all the apps and widgets look like they belong together. All the apps use the same colors and same theme with the white text and icons. Well, everything except my commonly used apps, and I purposely keep these with their original icons because just so I can recognize them in a split second when I need to find a specific app, which would take a bit longer if they were all white. So those are my 3 most important productivity apps that I have on my phone, are absolutely integral to my overall productivity. But I'll go over a few others that are still incredibly useful. Focus To Do. The Focus To Do app is again a really basic and simple app, and you might be starting to see a theme here. The apps that are the most basic and do just one job, but they do that one job incredibly well, tend to, at least in my opinion, be the best apps to use. So this app, it basically just forces you to study. That's all it really is. You set a timer, say for 25 minutes, and then it locks your phone so you're not tempted to get distracted while you're supposed to be studying. And there's loads of features on it. For example, you can turn on relaxing background music throughout the app or turn on full screen mode. And if you do feel tempted to close the app when the timer is counting down, then it will give you 5 seconds to go back onto the app, and it won't stop vibrating your phone until you do so. So a really nice feature to have. That's the Focus To Do app. Forest. The Forest app is very similar to the Focus To Do app in that it's basically a Pomodoro timer, and I made a video about 5 months on this exact topic, the best productivity apps that I have on my phone. And when I went to the comments of that video, I had so many of you commenting, mentioning this Forest app, so I downloaded it and I tried it for myself, and it really is good. Basically, you set the Pomodoro timer and you start the timer and a tree starts to grow. And if you stop the timer or close the app, then you kill the tree. And obviously you don't want to kill the tree, right? So it encourages you to keep studying until the timer rings and you can take a break. Clev Note. Another app that I use every day. I'm a big advocate of budgeting and tracking what you spend, so at the end of the month you know exactly where your money has gone. It will help you create a spending plan for your money and help you make sure you have enough money for the things you need and the things that are important to you. And I've been tracking pretty much every single thing that I spend for, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years maybe now. And I have to do it for my business for when I file my taxes at the end of the financial year. So it's just a habit now. So during the day, everything that I spend, I'll add it to the app. And at the end of the month, I'll add all the numbers up onto a big Excel spreadsheet so I can see exactly where my spending is going. And here's an Excel spreadsheet that I used to use way back in 2014. And my current one for 2021 doesn't look that much different. So if you don't budget or you don't have any kind of financial plan in place, I definitely recommend doing so. Once again, a quick reminder, the Transform Your Grades in 30 Days course is now live. Click on the link in the description. We're offering a 50% promotional launch discount to the first students that enroll, so don't miss out on that because it will be increasing to full price relatively shortly. And if you do enroll, I look forward to working with you very, very shortly.